Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is Girl Scouts of Silver Sage. This is our Cookies 101 for cookie season 2025. That's just right around the corner. And this is for Girl Scouts and their families so that we can learn more about the cookie season, understand what great things are in store. And this is going to be a lot of fun. Kim, we're ready for the next slide already, I think. Okay, so our agenda. So we're going to be talking tonight about quite a few things. First, we have a few welcome slides, and then we're going to talk about the two most important things. The most important thing first, which is the things that girls will learn during the cookie program. Then also there are lots of things that girls can earn during the cookie program. So that's a big motivating factor for them typically. Then we're going to walk through how the season unfolds. So from taking orders to having cookie booths and in all those things in the progression of the calendar year. Then we'll talk about cookie finances and some important tips about that. Then we will talk about some of the outcomes of girls participating in the cookie program. And then we'll go over a ton of resources that you have available to you as the cookie season unfolds, as you have questions or need support. And then we'll turn off the recording and work on questions and answers from you. So on to our next slide, please. All right, so our presenters today. My name is Kim Ross. I was a brownie, a junior, and a cadet Girl Scout as a girl. I sold cookies when it was really hot outside in South Florida. So I was sad when our uniform, when I was an older Girl Scout, had long sleeves. I just couldn't believe it. And I was hot all the time. And I am also now often hot. Then my mom was a cookie volunteer when I was selling cookies, and my husband and I are owned by a giant black cat named Pikachu. Then I am joined by Kim Huson. I'd like her to introduce herself, please.
Too many screens, can't find my mute button. I am Kim Huson. I was also a Brownie Junior and Cadet Girl Scout. Um, I sold cookies in the very blustery cold Chicago area. So where Kim had everything super hot, the other Kim had everything super cold. And right before my birthday, which is at the end of January, it always ended like right at my birthday. And I am the parent of a Girl Scout. I have a fifth grader um, and I have been a troop leader. I've helped with troop cookies as a troop leader. And I have three kids. They are 17, 10, and 4. I have a bonus step kid who is 19. Had to think about that for a second. And then I have a biggest and most challenging child, my husband, who is a Navy veteran, usually why he's challenging. I told it add a fun thing about me. So I love yarn, crafts, and coffee, but not always at the same time.
Awesome. Thanks, Kim. All right, so we're ready for our next slide, please. All righty, so this is the Girl Scout Promise and Girl Scout Law. We will not be reciting them tonight, but I wanted to make sure that you're aware that these are, this is a code that Girl Scouts live by, and adult volunteers are Girl Scouts too. So we want to make sure that we're modeling the Girl Scout Promise and Law. I also wanted to point out that each and every line of these two pieces are directly related to Girl Scout cookies. So, for example, being friendly and helpful is making sure that you are respecting the folks that come before and after you at a cookie booth. Using resources wisely, not wasting resources when you're at a cookie booth or going door to door. So every single one of these things that these talk about are relatable to cookies and very important for cookies. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have just a couple of housekeeping and just ground rules for today. First, again, we are focusing on the importance of the Girl Scout Promise and Law. Cookies is not a contest. It's a time where we all band together and we do our best when we're working together and we win together. There's also no need to memorize all of the little intricate pieces of information that we're going to share tonight. We have access to a printed family guide, lots of resources online. You have your Troop Cookie Manager and our council, as well as our baker partner, ABC, are also here to support you. So again, don't feel like you need to memorize any of this tonight. We will be posting the video of this presentation probably tomorrow or Monday, depending on when our staff is available to do that. So again, you can, if you miss us, you can watch us again, or if you want to revisit any of the information, you can do that as well. And then we ask you to lean into the excitement of cookies. It's a really exciting time for girls, especially if it's their first time, and it's also a lot of fun. And we want you to reach out if you have questions. Just ask. That's my motto here, is just ask. If you would like to borrow a banner or an air dancer for your cookie booth, just ask. We also ask that you support your Girl Scout. And it may seem like it's counterintuitive to the very next bullet, which is to let her do things. So support is offering assistance and making sure she has a ride to the booth and making sure she has supervision at the booth. And also letting her do the things. So if you, for example, take her order card to work, you let her still ask if people would buy cookies, or let her make a poster, or let her do thank you notes. Let her do the doing with your support. We also ask that you follow the guidelines, not only of our council and of the cookie program, but also of the volunteers in your troop. They may set a date a little bit earlier than the council sets it because they might be off on vacation or needing to visit someone in the hospital or something. So please do make sure you are aware of and follow the guidelines of your troop. We need you to also pay special attention when counting. Cookies is a big exercise in counting, and there's a lot of that. Counting what you sell, counting money, all those sorts of things. So please do pay special attention to that. Always request a receipt. If you are picking up cookies, if you are dropping off cookies, if you are giving a payment to your troop, make sure you get a receipt. That is important. And then we would like to use a parking lot method today. We want to make sure we get to all of your questions and concerns, but we ask that you set those aside, either write them down on a sticky note, maybe open up Notepad on your computer and type the questions in, or tell them to yourself in your phone, just to make sure that you are able to ask them at the end. But I'm quite certain that we'll get to most of your questions before we're finished. And while Kim goes to the next slide, I will share with you that we have about 90 minutes scheduled and about 55 slides. So I may speak quickly. Again, this is an opportunity for you to watch the video tomorrow or the next day when it's available. And we'll also be posting the slides so everyone has access to the information. Our goals for today, the biggest one is to make sure that you are aware of and understand the 5 skills that girls practice and learn while they are working on their cookie program and why they're so important. They are critical. We'll talk about Girl Scout cookies and why we need to be looking at them outside the box. We'll look at some Girl Scout licensed merchandise like deodorant and shampoo and what that means for us. And we'll also be talking about what the girls can earn. So their cookie program credits and camp, travel opportunities, stuffies, patches, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll go through the cookie season through the calendar. So we'll talk about how the cookie season unfolds and covering the who, what, where, why, and when, and also whether to participate in the cookie program. And we'll specific how information that will be conferred to you by your troop leader. And also we have a family guide that addresses a lot of the how. So this is the who, what, where, when, why, and whether. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so this is a quick overview of reasons that girls sell Girl Scout cookies. They learn skills, and we'll go over those. They earn funds for their troop. Each troop last year earned an average of $1,390 to do anything they wanted with it. They could purchase blankets for the Humane Society. They could buy coats for the homeless. They could go to the zoo or the park or have a picnic or whatever they wanted to do with it. And we have a system at Girl Scouts where things are girl led. So we want for the girls to vote on the things that they're doing and have the adventure built for their needs and wants. Troops report into a organizational unit called a service unit, and service units also earn money through the cookie program. They earned an average of $275 last year. Then we also have program credits. Girls can earn up to $870 each cookie season with their program credits, and that's a lot of money to do fun things with, to go to camp, to do travel, to purchase next year's uniform, all kinds of fun stuff. Then we have prizes and rewards, stuffies, and we just got in a sample of the telescope reward that we'll be giving away. We also have my other favorite item is a oh gosh, cotton candy machine. Lots and lots of fun things. Girls are going to love them, and they're going to be fun. Then also the Girl Scout cookie proceeds stay local, and they help fund all of the other programmatic elements of Girl Scouts at our council. So that could be things like campfires and making sure that there are volunteers to support the experience. Our properties and camp, we facilitate a lot of programming with those funds. All right, next slide, please. All right, so here are the 5 skills. And before I go any further, there's one piece that I forgot to mention, and that is that we have some material that's kind of more for the grown-ups. And in the middle of our presentation, we have really exciting girl information. So we'll let you know when that girl information is coming up if your girl right now needs dinner or a snack or some rest. She's more than welcome to do that, and we'll let you know when it's girl time to bring the pom-poms and the excitement and all that kind of stuff. So if she's finding this part a little dry, that's why, because this part is geared for the grown-ups. So, all right, girl entrepreneurship. That is why I am here. I am all about the entrepreneurship and the skills that girls can learn. Those 5 skills are goal setting, decision making, money management, business ethics, and people skills. Next slide, please, Kim. And these skills are important for a lot of different reasons. Yes, they're important for their future job prospects, but it's also important for their interview to go to art school, for their if they want to go to a high-tech company, or if they want to run for office or anything like that. These are skills and attitudes that their teammates will value, their life partner will value, that voters value, all of that sort of thing. So we want to make sure that girls are people who are setting goals and meeting deadlines, that they are working well with others and not causing a lot of strife at the workplace, someone who understands their customers and who can influence others. So there's a lot of leadership that happens, even if you don't have, for example, a direct report. You can still lead and influence across an organization, like when they join a sorority or the engineering club or something like that. They can influence others without having to be the president, for example. And then also someone who's honest, trustworthy, reliable. I mean, it should go without saying, but it's as important as ever to be trustworthy and to be able to earn those votes or that confidence. Next slide, please. So cookie program outcomes. These are a direct result of the skills learned during the cookie program. You can see here, Ms. Debbie Fields started Mrs. Fields Cookies. I love that it's also a cookie business. And millions of women get their start in the business world by selling Girl Scout cookies. That's their first, dip of their toe into the ocean of entrepreneurship. And you'll see a relatively embarrassing photo of me as a Girl Scout brownie. That was probably my first on my way to my first meeting. I don't have any pins or badges or anything yet. And I was so excited I could hardly stand it. And I went from being a shy brownie to a top cookie seller in my state of Florida. But also this year, I was named one of 50 Idaho Businesswomen of the Year. So this has a lot to do with the skills that I learned as a Girl Scout selling cookies, being able to march right up to the president or CEO of an organization and ask them for a cookie booth or ask them for a donation or anything like that. I have that confidence now and courage that I can go and do those things and not have to, hide behind my mom like I used to when I was a brownie. There are also dozens and dozens of famous entrepreneurs, famous astronauts, nonprofit leaders, entertainment, titans of business and industry that are all women and that all got their start in those fields through Girl Scouts, not only through the cookie program, but also through the other four pillars of the Girl Scout program, the Girl Scout leadership experience. It's a great place to be and a great place to learn and to become the person that you're meant to be. I just love it. Next slide, please. So the products that girls will be selling our 2025 cookie lineup. You'll see that there are 9 varieties listed. Each package of cookies, and you'll notice me try to say package rather than box of cookies because many of our packages are switching to more of a kind of a plasticky, metally covering rather than a box. So I'm going to try to say packages, but when I say packages or box, I'm referring to one individual unit of cookies, so $6 package. And otherwise, if I'm talking about a case, I will always say case rather than box. And a case is 12 packages of cookies. And that's the same for all of our 9 varieties, including the caramel chocolate chip, which comes in a stand-up kind of Ziploc type bag. Those are also in packages of 12 per case. You'll notice that there are green symbols by many of the varieties, and that means that they are vegan. We're excited about that because lots of individuals have different diets for different reasons. These are also, all of them are kosher. They're halal certified. They're also using sustainable certified palm oil, and there's no high fructose corn syrup or partially hydrogenated oils in them. So they are as healthy as a shelf-stable cookie can possibly be. And we are announcing now that this is the last opportunity. So the 2025 cookie season is the last time that individuals will be able to get the Toast-Yay cookie. It is retiring. We will have another cookie to substitute it with in 2026. That variety has not been described or explained to me or Kim either. So we do not know what it is. The moment we find out, the minute we're allowed to share that information with you, we will, because we think you'll be excited about it. I hope it's something, I don't know. I'm hoping for maybe, I don't know what I'm hoping for. Fruit, maybe? I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I am excited to see what they come up with. Maybe oatmeal. Who knows? All right, next slide, please. So we get questions sometimes about products that are licensed by GSUSA. We get asked, well, gosh, you have, Girl Scouts flavored snacks or Girl Scout branded yogurt or coffee creamer or any of those kinds of things. And so what happens with revenues that Girl Scouts bring in are that the cookie revenue, the cookie money, all stays local with girls in our council to benefit the girls in our council. GSUSA is our, I would say, our national organization. So all 111 Girl Scout councils report into GSUSA. Again, they're kind of an umbrella organization. And so they own trademarks to things like Girl Scouts and the trefoil shape that we use, and Thin Mints is another one of their trademarks. And so they license those trademarks. Some of them are color schemes, some of them are shapes, and then also images of some of the cookies are also considered trademarks. So GSUSA earns money for the national organization for things like council support, some larger, what I would call shared services. So things like our membership database. All 111 of us don't have to create our own separate database. There's one central database that we all pay into, but that also some of the licensing fees cover. We also have items out in the wild that aren't consumer goods that people take home, but they could be things like Dunkin', which used to be called Dunkin' Donuts, had some Girl Scout flavored items. Sometimes Dairy Queen will come out with a Girl Scout cookie flavored Blizzard. Last year, IHOP did some Thin Mint pancakes, which I only had a chance to try once, but I really liked them. And then there are also, as you can see here on the picture, some health and beauty aids. So they've done makeup. Native did a whole line with Target. So I, occasionally use the Caramel Delight deodorant. It's still, I still laugh about it. But yes, there are lots of different products. And what's great about it is that these products complement the Girl Scout cookie program by keeping Girl Scout cookies and the flavors and the unique combinations of flavors, especially like the Caramel Delights and the Thin Mints. It keeps them top of mind. So they're on people's minds, people are talking about them, and it's also generating some buzz in the media. So it's not to compete with cookies, it's to supplement and really support the girls out there in the cookie program. Next slide, please.
Additionally, on this right now,
yeah.
Duck Donuts has Thin Mint crumbles for some of their donuts, and they are delicious.
All right, Duck Donuts, everybody. All right, so there are also competitors to Girl Scout cookies. So the things we talked about with the licensing are complementary products. There are also out in the wild competing products. Now, there are some other cookies, and the ones we have pictured here are the ones that I would call close competition. But then other cookies like Oreos are also competing for people's snack dollars. Other packaged snacks like crackers. It could be fresh snacks like little tangerines or little baby carrots. Any other food. So people having a meal instead of a snack. Any other family expense. So if they're spending more money on their electricity or more money on gasoline, they have less money to spend on Girl Scout cookies. Then another thing that's competing with Girl Scout cookies, and it might not be something we initially think about, but grocery pickup and delivery. If I'm having Walmart or Albertsons or Fred Meyer deliver my groceries, I'm not setting foot in the store, so I'm not stopping at the cookie booth. So we need to make sure, and I'm ready for the next slide, please. We need to make sure that not only are our booths in as many places as we possibly can have them, so that if someone's not going to the grocery store, maybe they are going to the garden store or the sports store or something like that, so that to help diversify the cookie booth locations. But also, it's critical that we market and position the cookies as more than just a box of cookies. Because even if we do stick with the cookie thing, that the first competitor that was listed on the bullet list, if we just say that we're competing about cookies, they can walk in the store and get, Oreos for $3 or $4, or get other, cookies of all different sorts for $3, $4, $5. They don't need to spend $6 on a box of cookies. What they are doing is buying the cookies and also the girl experience. So the friends that she makes in Girl Scouts, the business skills she makes in Girl Scouts. And so all of our cookie communications this year, so when we have billboards on the highway, or if we have some media partners that let us put an ad in the newspaper or an ad on the radio, or that publish our press releases and things like that, every single one of those efforts will include reasons beyond cookies for them to purchase cookies. Community members love the cookies, they seek them out, and so we want to make sure that it's that's top of mind, that girls benefit when the Girl Scout cookies are purchased. So you see here, these are some of the ads. The two elongated ones were billboards in our service area that feature girls in our council, and we think that's important. And then the square one is a social media post, and we'll have a bunch of those that are in different kind of color combinations and have other messaging. And then we have some more of the billboards on the next couple of slides. Kim, if you go forward. So here's one that's a lot of fun. This one has all of the cookie varieties. Oh, the first one, sorry. This one, of course, we're going to have to retire it after this year because it features the Toast Yay as one of the cookies. And of course, that's going away. So we'll have to redo this one for 2026. But unbox the girl-powered future. So we're excited about that phrase. And then the next one, it might be my favorite phrase, which talks about the girl being a brownie and a business titan while she's eating her adventureful cookie. So you will see, and again, she is a local Girl Scout here in our area. I think Troop 7 is in Kuna, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, she is a local Girl Scout, and we do feature our local girls on our advertising and also in our guidebooks. You'll notice if you've gotten any of your printed materials yet, Juliet D of Troop 50 is on our troop guide. We've got some really great and 3 of our top entrepreneurs in our family guide. So we always want to be featuring girls in our council area. Next slide, please. So I mentioned at the top of this segment that all of the cookie earnings stay local. You'll see in the pie chart or the cookie chart, I guess, that where the cookie crumbles and where our funds go. And the proceeds, there are proceeds that fund the troop activities. So the focus of the next slide is that. And then it also funds service unit activities, which again is that team that the troops report into. And they have events for things like World Thinking Day, or they may gather the troops in their service unit to be part of a Veterans Day parade or something like that. All of those service unit activities are funded by the service unit. And then also Girl Scout programs, that 50%, that is everything else that our council provides. So properties and a portion of the summer camp cost is covered. So everything that we provide is covered in that other portion. Next slide, please. Okay. Ooh, program credits. Great. Okay, so there was a different slide before this one, but we've made some edits on the fly because we thought it flowed better. So one thing we want to make sure that we talk about, this is probably the most valuable reward in any council anywhere, and that is program credits. Our program credits are flexible in that they can be used for a lot of different things, but also remarkably and better, at least as good, if not better, than any other council in the United States. They are able to be used for 3 full summers. So the program credits that girls earned this year will expire in September of 2027. And girls can save up. They don't have to save it all. They can save a little bit this year and a little bit next year and a little bit the year after to go on a big trip or to go to, for example, this year we're having a trip to Disney World. That's going to be really exciting. So that's something that girls spend program credits on. But they also can use it in our store. They can use it for camp. They can use it when they bridge to get a new uniform. It's so super flexible. It can also be used for their membership, which will be auto-renewed through the cookie program unless the girl tells us that she will not be returning next year. So if this year is going to be their last year, please make sure you tell your troop cookie manager so they can opt out of the automatic renewal. But otherwise, everyone's going to be opted in to renewing for the following year, because of course, who's going to want to miss out on all the fun? You've earned all the money, now let's go do all the fun things. And we also have some green arrows throughout our presentation, and those are things I want to make special attention to mention to you all. And that thing on this slide is that girls who register for a camp session early in the season, so before mid-March or the end of March, they will be able to automatically apply their program credits towards their camp balance if they want to. So rather than having us print out the program credits, sort the program credits, mail them to your service unit, who gives them to your troop leader, who gives them to you, and then you have to give them back to the troop leader, who sends them to the store. All of that stuff is not necessary if you let us know that you'd like for, $70 of program credits to be applied to Lisa Smith's July 10th camp session. We will do that for you. We'll take all of those other steps out. So that'll make things a lot easier. One of the things about the membership auto renewal is that the council service fee for the membership renewal for 2025 and beyond has not been completed yet. It's not been decided. So all the members will be notified once that decision is made, and that will determine where and how much of the program credits will be used for the auto renewal of membership. All right, next slide, please. Right, so now the fun stuff is coming. So if you have Girl Scouts who took a break to use the restroom or have a snack or something like that, please invite the girls over, because this is going to be the part that they do not want to miss. Plus, they get personal time with me. My nickname around the office is the Cookie Monster. So if you hear your girls say, "Oh, I met Cookie Monster at Camp Echo," or what have you, that's me. And so this will be a great opportunity for them to get to see me in this neck of the woods, I guess. All right, so as we wait for a few more girls to come, let's go to the next slide, please, Kim, and see what exciting thing awaits us. Oh, yes. This is pretty exciting. That is one cool photo. I love waterfalls. All right. Hi, Girl Scouts. Anybody who joined us, we're super excited that you're here. We're going to talk about some of the fun things about the Girl Scout Cookie Program. And this is the very first one. There are a ton of ways that your troop can use the troop proceeds, which is the money that the troop earns. Each time you sell one package of cookies, the troop gets some money. And so with that money, your troop can vote to do all kinds of different things. You can vote on troop travel if you're old enough. There are some council limitations on ages just for safety purposes. You can do troop camping even at one of our properties. You can reserve those. You can do field trips or have big one-of-a-kind experiences. For example, there are troops that have been able to do overnighters at the zoo or an overnighter at the mall or something neat that you wouldn't be able to do except that you're a Girl Scout. There are also Girl Scout ceremonies and traditions that the monies can fund. You can also do service projects or projects for your higher awards. So juniors and above could work on their bronze, silver, or gold awards with some of these funds. You can also vote to go to National Convention, which will be in summer of 2026 in Washington, D.C. So tack a day on and do some museums or something cool like that, although one day is probably honestly not enough. But you'll be able to travel if you want to. You could also supplement camp or some other costs for girls. So if you have girls who need extra funds in your troop to get their uniform or to go to camp, you're able to vote to use that money to help those girls do those things if you want to. You can also potentially go to camp together if you want to. If some of the sessions match up with your interests and your family schedule, you can go to camp together. You'll also make new friends, but you can go with some friends that you already know too. And then you can also supplement council-sponsored travel, which would be, for example, the Disney trip. If you have a girl who, gets to 1950 and she still needs $50 of assistance to get to the Disney trip, your troop can vote to supplement her travel as well. Next slide, please. Awesome. Okay, so this is one of my favorite slides. I absolutely love the rewards that girls are able to earn this year. So you will have received one of these sheets. It's actually a two-sider when you go when your troop cookie manager hands them out. But this is a two-sider. This is called the rewards card. And then on the other side is more information about the program credits. So please do keep this. I like to keep mine in a what we call this, a sheet protector thing, just so it's always close by so you can see kind of where you are on things. But the rewards this year, we have some new things, and these will be spotlighted for us with that green new symbol. New this year, we have our participation patch. This year, the participation patch, the number of packages to receive it is down to 24 or 25 packages. So that's 2 cases plus 1. Very, very easy to hit. And we want every girl to try Girl Scout cookie selling, and we think they'll be great at it, but we want them to participate in the program. That is our #1 issue for us internally. It's not the girls who sell, 5 or 6,000, which we love that, but also that's not the goal. The goal for us, our team, is to make sure that every girl has the opportunity to participate in the program to learn those skills. We really, really want that for all of them. We also have a new crossover patch. So if your Girl Scout earned the fall product patch and you also hit 375 packages of cookies, you will earn a brand new crossover patch, which will have the panda, but it'll talk about fall and cookies. So this will be another special personalized patch that has your girl's name and picture on it, of her avatar that she created in the fall product program. It's going to be very cute, and we're excited to see them. Again, this is a brand new thing for this year. Additionally, on the bottom right, you'll see that we have bar patches. So directly underneath the participation patch, or we're calling it up here the Embrace Possibility patch, directly under that, girls can put this bar patch where it says how many packages they sold. And this year, we are giving out those packages giving out those patches at the 100 packages level. So we used to give them at 200 packages sold, but again, we want more girls to participate rather than girls to participate at a higher level. We'd rather them participate at a higher rate. So more girls participating. So again, we've lowered the bar patches to 100 plus in increments of 100. Next slide, please. Oh, and more exciting stuff about the rewards. So this rewards card that we are talking about, as you can see on the card, it's bigger than it probably is on your screen, but it's also not huge. And there are tons of little pictures on it and names, but we weren't able to go as in depth explaining each reward or the size or the, what comes with it. So new this year, Kim has put together the cookie program reward, what would I call it? Details page online. And so it has larger pictures of each patch and each item, but also explanations. So for example, we have a brand new reward in the Build-A-Bear category. The Build-A-Bear is creating for Girl Scouts a exclusive rainbow panda bear that is only available to Girl Scouts through the Girl Scout cookie program. And in addition to getting the bear, which in itself is awesome, girls who select that reward will also be invited to attend a heart ceremony and a stuffing event. So there are 2 separate events on 2 separate weekends. One will be at the Build-A-Bear store in Boise at the mall, and the other one will be at Pocatello in our office at the Pine Ridge Mall. So more details about that are in this kind of supplemental page about the Girl Scout cookie rewards. And all of this is available online on Cookie Central, and we'll describe Cookie Central to you shortly. But again, if you have questions about the specific rewards, please do walk your girl through those specifics too, so she knows that it's a full-size telescope or a personal-sized cotton candy maker, or any of those details are all on that page that Kim put together. Next slide, please. All right. So one of the most popular ways to use your program credits that you earn through the cookie program is to go to camp. So this slide says summer camp, but there are also, we have winter camps. We had Thanksgiving break camp. I think we may have called it fall camp. We have spring break opportunities. So this does mean any summer camp from Girl Scouts of Silver Sage. So we have Camp Echo, which is a day camp in the Boise area downtown by St. Luke's. We have Camp Alice Pittenger, which is a world-class camp property in McCall, right on the lake. It is amazing. We also have Camp Tam, which is in Swan Valley in the Tetons, another world-class property. Just amazing opportunities for girls. And you won't believe how many fun sessions, a big variety of sessions for girls of different age groups. So be looking for the printed camp brochure in your mailbox around between Christmas and New Year's, somewhere in there. And then registrations opens up on February 3rd, 2025. There are sessions that sell out on the first day. So I would highly recommend that you pay close attention to the time that the registration opens. I don't know if it's been announced yet. It's not on this slide that she gave us, but do, make sure your family vacation calendar and your girls' interests are all ready and set in your mind, so you can log on that morning and make sure that she and her friends get in the camp session that they want. That'll be very important. And there is a QR code here for our camp page on our website. Again, I'm not sure if the guidebook it has been loaded there yet. I know the file's complete because it's gone to the printer, but that will be where you'll find more information on summer camp. All right, then I'm going to ask for the next slide. And Kim, if you could take the next slide or two, I'm running out of moisture.
Yeah, no worries. So additionally, we've got our camps, and we've got our programs, and all of these can support your girls' next adventure with cookie program proceeds, whether it's troop proceeds or the additional funds that council gets from the cookie program, or through her own program credits. We've got, as our last slide mentioned, our day camps and residential camps. We have outdoor programming. We'll do snowshoe events or skiing events. I know they've done planetarium activities. We also have our amazing program manager, and she does a lot of badge workshops or journey in a days. And she is really great about working with and supporting the girls who are working on their highest awards. So their bronze, their silver, or their gold award if they're a junior cadet or senior ambassador. And then another fun activity that they have is that for cadets, seniors, and ambassadors, so for our older Girl Scouts in middle and high school, they have opportunities to go on what is called a destination. Destinations are trips that take them to other parts of the country for cadets, but for seniors and ambassadors, they take them to other parts of the world. We've had girls go to London and Ireland and Paris, all through Girl Scouts through the Destinations program. There's a section on I think it's the national website that goes over all of the different location options that there are for destinations. And I know also our program manager does do like a Zoom about all of them at least twice a year. I think she might do them a little more often, but at least twice.
Kim, I need to pop in for just a second.
Oh, yeah.
And because I forgot to tell everybody two really important things. Now I don't remember okay. So the biggest one is we've talked about program credits and how important and flexible and all that stuff, how great they are. The most important thing about program credits is that girls earn them automatically. They don't have to choose them. They don't have to, exchange their stuffy or their patch to get program credits. Program credits happen automatically, and they are in addition to all of the other rewards and great things that girls earn for the cookie program. The program credits are a supplement to all of that. Okay, would you take one more slide for us, please?
Sure. That's why we say they're so valuable, because they're automatic, right?
They're great.
Okay. So our next one is talking about our entrepreneurship incentive trip. So as part of selling cookies, girls are able to go on our incentive trip. This year, our incentive trip is to Disney World. It is going to happen around late June, about the 21st-ish. The price per girl is $2,000. The girls are eligible to go if they have completed 5th grade or higher and sold 750 packages of cookies in the 2025 cookie program. There is also an option to go as a troop. So as long as you have 3 or more girls in your troop that all qualify for that, so they all have to sell at least 750 packages, they all have to be a 5th grade or higher, you guys can go as a troop. So council gets to book the hotel, make sure that we've got a flight, figure out the dates, and then the troop gets to go. Once they get to the hotel, they can branch off and do troop things. But everything else is all organized by our team at council, and the troop just gets the fun of going on the adventure. So also we do want to note that National Convention does take place every 3 years. And in 2026, National Convention is being held in Washington, D.C. So the incentive trip may not be to Disney for 2026. It may instead be in addition to the National Convention. So they may do a historical Washington, D.C. trip where they can go through and go to some of the museums, maybe take a tour of the White House, or do a monument like walking tour or something like that. I did one with my son. It was super fun. And so that, may not happen in 2026, but they do try to get it to Disney as often as they can for planning purposes for your girls if they're not yet 5th grade. So for the Disney trip, what is included is they do a countdown to Disney meetings. So our membership manager who helps organize and coordinate all of it, she does a couple of meetings with the girls where they talk about, what they want to pack, how much stuff they need to do. Do they get a checked bag? Or do they just get, a carry-on item? They make some craft items, and they get really excited and ramped up for their trip. It includes round trip airfare from Boise to Disney and back. Hopefully they come back. A hotel for 4 nights, all meals throughout the trip, transportation to and from the Orlando airport, transportation to the Disney parks, and then the tickets themselves to Disney. Now we have some more details for going as a troop. So if your troop, wants to travel together, but you're not sure where to start, this could be a great starter trip, which you only have to plan part of. So it is $2,000 per girl. We'll put 4 girls in a room together, 2 adults per room. Girls and adults do not share rooms together. Every girl going has to sell those 750 packages, at least 3 girls from the troop to participate. Troops have to still cover their, girl to adult ratio. So if you've got, 3 girls going, you need at least 2 adults. If you've got, I think it's 10 cadets going, I think you now need an additional adult. I don't remember the ratio off the top of my head. My daughter's a junior. I haven't gotten to cadets yet. And then the, excuse me, the number of troop chaperones cannot exceed the number of girls from the troop that are going. So if you've got 3 girls from your troop going, you can't have 6 parents attend the trip as well. All chaperones have to be registered and background checked volunteers with Girl Scouts. The trip will be fully scheduled and set up, but like I said, is that once you get into the hotel on that first night, the troop breaks off and goes and does their own thing. They'll still get the park passes and everything, but once they get to the park, then they can choose that, okay, we want to go to the left instead of going to the right. But the idea is to let us do the hard work so that you and your girls can enjoy the trip as a troop.
That's awesome. Thank you, Kim. I have one thing I want to share about Disney in particular, about this coming trip, and that is that am I talking? Okay, yeah, sorry. I wasn't sure if I was on mute. So the incentive trip, there's going to be a Q&A session that's going to be held on Zoom. That will be offered on the evening of Monday, December 16th. And that's where the individuals who are running the trip will be available to answer all of your questions about program credits, about, ages and exactly what those safety activity checkpoints are. And those are regulations that Girl Scouts put out specifically for the safety of the girls. That is everyone's number one concern, not only for that trip, but also at camp. It's our number one concern here in our building and our number one concern throughout the cookie program. And the reason why we don't let girls go in someone's house or wanting to make sure there are a certain number of girls and adults at a cookie booth and all of that sort of thing. It's all about the safety of the girls. So the next thing we wanted to share is that we recommend that you attend your troop's cookies and camp meeting. If your troop cookie manager and or troop leader are holding this meeting, please do attend if you at all possibly can. This is where you'll learn about specific deadlines for materials that the troop needs. You'll also get contact information for your troop cookie manager. Please make sure you record that information on your family guide. We have a printed guide for you that you should receive there as well, with room for your troop cookie manager's information on the back. And then we want you also to discuss what the troop wants to do this year. Set their goals, discuss their adventures. Do the girls want to attend camp together? Do they want to try to go to Disney World together? Could you maybe carpool to a camp location? If you are at that meeting armed with the information about the camp sessions that your girls want to attend, maybe you can plan together, and then the girls can work towards their goals together and go to camp together if they want to. And again, we've talked about being able to auto apply their camp credits or their program credits toward their camp balance if they are signed up and ready to go early. So there are all kinds of things going on, and we want to make sure that the girls set their goals, but also so that the the caregiver, parent, knows what the goal is and that you agree that that is something that's manageable. I'm sure every fifth grader wants to sell 3,000 packages and go to Disney World. I'm certain of that. But what is not entirely certain is that, there are lots of reasons why a parent isn't able to take them to every cookie booth, or that selling 3,000 packages isn't feasible because they have a big spring trip planned, or they're going to be on vacation or have some medical issues. And so we want to make sure that not only are the girls communicating their goals to their troop leader, but that you as the adult are in the loop so that you can agree to it or temper it when girls want to do more than they reasonably could do. Next slide, please. All right. Well, girls, thank you so much for joining us. You are welcome to stick around if you want to. We may, however, be getting into some stuff that might not be as exciting as Disney World. Okay, what is as exciting as Disney World? But we will be talking about things that may not be super exciting. So we wanted to just say thank you for being here in case you decide to go off and do something different for a while. We still have 30 minutes on our planned time, so I'm going to run through the material that we have up next. Next slide, please. Okay, so the biggest question that we get asked here at our council is, where do I get things? The cookie manuals and or the rewards card or more 5 for 5 tickets or all the different things that you need. Those are distributed from the Baker Partner ABC or through the council down to the service unit cookie managers, and then they distribute everything out to the troop cookie managers, who then distribute it out to the families. So if I get something on a Thursday, there's probably no chance that you're going to get it on Friday. It needs to be, in some cases, mailed to Eastern Idaho, and then, then the sometimes the service unit cookie manager might wait till the service unit meeting to hand out the troop materials. So it's not always a super quick distribution of items, but that is where you get things. It's from your troop cookie manager, and that's where you'll get the rewards at the end. But that's also where you'll get your training and news, and all of the things that you need will be there. Next slide, please. And so one thing that we would like for you to consider is joining your Troops Cookie team. I call this graphic the peacock, but what we're saying here is that it takes a village to bring to you the programming of the cookie program. There's distribution and counting and scheduling booths and all kinds of things. So if you're really great with Excel, maybe try helping out with the banking. Or if you like scheduling events, you could be the booth coordinator. If you really love technology, if you're, Ms. Tech Savvy or Mr. Tech Savvy, because we do have male volunteers and they are welcome to help out. We actually have a great service unit cookie manager. I think he's in Blackfoot, and he is magnificent. So this is not limited to women in any way. And if you enjoy project management, please consider being a troop cookie manager or a service unit cookie manager. Those roles are required for a troop to participate in the cookie program. So please do consider helping out and joining us. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are some options for your Girl Scouts cookie adventure. We want to make sure, I don't know if you remember in the very first slide or two, we talked about, who, what, where, why, when. And one of the other things in there was weather. And so the cookie program is completely optional. You do not have to sell cookies. Well, actually, you don't get to sell cookies. Your Girl Scout does not have to sell cookies. However, because of the skills and the outcomes and the rewards, we highly recommend that she try it. And you don't have to try it all 6 ways that you can sell cookies. She can decide, and you and your troop leader can decide what methods the girl is interested in pursuing to sell cookies. So here are those 6 ways. One, of course, letting your friends and family know, phoning them or texting them. I would also add some social media stuff in here. That's a way to let people know that they can purchase cookies from your girl. Digital Cookie is our online cookie selling system. It is the girl-facing software where the girl sets up her cash register, if you will, her store and cash register. And so she can email customers from that website. She can have customers order to hand deliver cookies, or customers order to ship cookies to them. So if grandma in Phoenix needs cookies, she can order them from her and have them directly shipped. Your girl can go door to door, either with cookies in hand once they arrive, or before that, they can go door to door with their order form. There's lots of ways to go about doing that, but familiar neighborhoods are usually best and easiest. And of course, we always want to make sure an adult is with any girl performing any cookie activity. Next slide, please, for the next 3 methods. So cookie stands, that is where it's kind of like a lemonade stand. So you would set up a cookie table and a sign at a private residence or private property, as long as you have permission to do that. Some HOAs frown on it, so make sure that it's a place that you're able to do it. But it's a great way to connect to folks in your community, meet your neighbors. Then there are also cookie booths. Those are girls that you see in front of Fred Meyer, or Albertsons is one of our great partners. And we'll talk quite a bit more about those. And then also connecting with her community. So she could go into a business or contact someone that your family knows. Maybe it's a real estate agent in the family. And the real estate agent could buy cookies from your girl for to serve at open houses, or to give in housewarming baskets for their new homeowners. There's all kinds of ways that girls can sell cookies to businesses, either to their employees or to their businesses customers. So tons of opportunities, and that's where, if a girl really, really wants to hit some high numbers, that is a way to do that. All right, next slide, please. So the online systems we have been talking about a little bit. One of those is Digital Cookie. That's the green portion of the slide. That is the girl-facing system for her cash register. It connects to her website. That's where she can see the rewards a little bit closer. Of course, it's not quite as in-depth as Kim's detailed outline, but does have information there. And from Digital Cookie is where she should be emailing friends and family. Then Smart Cookies, the pink side, that's something that only the volunteers will see. So if you are not volunteering with your troop, you don't need to worry about Smart Cookies at all. This is where troops order additional cookies, or where they order the rewards when the sale is over. They manage their inventory. They keep track of girl payments. So when your girl brings money to the troop meeting, they keep track of how much money a girl owes the troop in Smart Cookies. All right, next slide, please. So Digital Cookie, we have had some updates and improved features in Digital Cookie. Last year, we used Digital Cookie, and that was a difference from the year before that, 2023. We used Smart Cookies for the girl portion also. So moving to Digital Cookie was something different from that. And so new things are now this year, Digital Cookie will accept PayPal and Venmo as funding sources in addition to credit cards that it accepted before. So that's exciting. You also are able to do a hand to customer now transaction, which you were able to do before, but now you don't have to enter in all the customers' phone number, email, zip code, all that kind of stuff. It's just if you have cookies in hand and you're handing it to the customer and you're at a cookie booth, you can just swipe the card and be on your way, which is great. And maybe swipe isn't the right phrase. Enter the card number and expiration date and be on your way. Then also the teams that work on Smart Cookies and Digital Cookie in their respective companies have spent all kinds of time over the summer working on how the systems sync or synchronize with each other. So this is going to be a lot better this year. And their focus was really on the girl experience and the customer experience. And so I talked a little bit before about how important your feedback is. That feedback is what we got, that they really wanted us to focus on getting that system, the connection between Digital Cookie and Smart Cookies to talk to each other better. And I'm really excited about the changes. I think it's going to be great. One thing we wanted to make sure to point out is that Digital Cookie, that mobile app that is available to sell cookies through the phone, you want to make sure that you re-download and reinstall that software app every year. So that's downloading the app will connect you with all of the upgrades, updates, all of that sort of thing. Similar to last year, our council, which we abbreviated here as GSSSC, which is Girl Scouts of Silver Sage Council, we will absorb the costs of accepting credit cards at your booth and door to door, so long as they go through Digital Cookie. All right, next slide, please. All right, so this is our program timeline. This is where we're going to review through the lens of the calendar what goes on during the cookie season. Next slide, please. All right, so in the top bar, you'll see what phase we're going to talk about and the dates on the calendar. This is phase 1, so this is as we are prepping for the cookie program. You'll want to make sure that you attend the Cookies and Camp meeting. Again, you'll be setting goals, getting your materials, that sort of thing. Girls should start reaching out now to family and friends to collect their email addresses. So there might be some folks that your family knows kind of casually on Facebook, but if you don't have their email address, the girl won't be able to send them an email through Digital Cookie to send her link to her store. You can still send a private message to your friends and family with the link, but that won't make her eligible for some of the patches that needs to be sent through Digital Cookie. The holidays are a great time for this because you'll be at Uncle Steve's house or, with friends and family for the holidays. So do ask them for their emails and make sure to set your girl up for success. Email addresses from last year should be uploaded and should map over. So that is something that we're expecting for this year as well. So that the customers that your girls had before will remain, which is great. Then we also want to make sure that your girls, if at all possible, attend their cookie rally. So your troop will find out about their service unit area cookie rally, and they're going to be held at more locations this year. So if you remember in the past, we had one big cookie rally in the Boise area, and that just wasn't convenient for folks driving. And last year was kind of treacherous weather, but people driving in from Nissa or Ontario or Emmett or even Nampa and Kuna, that's a long way. And so this year, service units and groups of service units will be putting on their own cookie rallies. So your cookie rally will be much closer to you than in the past. So that'll be something that's terrific for everyone. But please do get your girl to the cookie rally if at all possible. There are at least one enormous prize, and that is something that only a girl who attends a cookie rally will be able to win. Families and caregivers will receive an email on January 2nd to allow you to access Digital Cookie, and then you have 8 days to set up Digital Cookie with the girl's video talking about why cookies are important or what she's saving for. She wants to go to camp. She wants to go to Paris. Also a story via text and their pitch. All of that stuff should go on the website on Digital Cookie and be ready on January 10th when customers can start receiving their emails and shopping for cookies. Next slide, please. All right, so the next portion of that is taking orders, and that happens January 10th through 27th. The girls will be able to take orders on their order form, and that is a glossy, multi-folded order form that has all the cookies on it, and we'll show a piece of it in a minute. Girls should collect money up front when they're selling cookies. So in addition to their printed materials, they will receive a money envelope. And again, they should be collecting money at the time they take the order. Digital Cookie will be open on January 10th for shipped orders and for girl delivery. Social media links are and will continue to be limited to personal pages. So your personal feed, if you will, your neighborhood. So a group page, something like Maple Hill Woods or Lexington Hill or something like that, but not Idaho Falls Moms or Treasure Valley adult, whatever. Just not those big of a group. A small neighborhood page. Maybe your neighborhood and next door, something like that. No buy, sell, trade websites, no Craigslist, Amazon, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, none of that is allowed. Girls, during this time when they're taking orders on their order form, are encouraged to bring money to their troop meetings, to bring monies to their troop cookie manager or whichever designated volunteer will be helping. And a receipt is issued for every transfer of money. So again, if you are bringing your girl to the troop meeting and you stop and give money to the troop cookie manager, make absolutely sure that you get a receipt for that money and that it matches the amount that you gave. Then we want to make sure that girls give their in-color order card or a clear photo of the order card to the troop cookie manager before January 27th, because that's the date that that volunteer needs to have that information in the cookie system. With the order cards, our biggest question is, can I take my girl's order card to work? Yes, of course you can. You can, her aunt can, her grandma can, anybody who she can get to take that order card and who she can commit to returning and delivering the cookies to, yes, they can take her order card. The important thing is that the girl does the doing. So even if she's not allowed to enter the building, could she make a sign? I'm selling cookies to go to the zoo. I want to donate money to the animal shelter. This is why I'm selling cookies. Make a poster. Please buy cookies from me. And or do thank you notes as she's, wrapping up the orders, maybe putting them in separate bags. Decorate the bag, thank the customer, deliver the cookies personally. Any piece of it that she is able to participate in are skills that she is learning and building and practicing, and that is the heart of the Girl Scout cookie program. So again, please do let her do the doing. Next slide, please. So this next portion, I wanted to show you a little bit about the order form and some information about the gluten-free cookie. Our team is only allowed to place one order for the gluten-free cookie. I placed that order in October. So we have a strict limit, and there are lots of reasons for this, but it's because of the potential for contaminants of other materials like wheat getting into this cookie. People are gluten-free, and it's a medical issue. So those cookies are transported separately in the larger scheme of things, not to a booth necessarily, but in the warehouse, they're warehoused separately. They are produced in a separate building altogether. So we need to know earlier how many they're producing, so we had to order them. Because of that, there is a possibility that we won't have enough to cover the entire sale. So this caramel chocolate chip cookie, does not appear on the order cards. That's because, again, we don't know if we'll have enough. So what we're asking is, if girls go door to door and somebody specifically requests a gluten-free cookie, super duper. We want that. Have them either make a separate column for gluten-free or write gluten-free, Lisa Smith gluten-free 6 packages or whatever on the order card. But those are only available by request. So that way we can make sure that the cookies that we ordered for the gluten-free variety are available to all the girls who placed orders. That is our priority there first, is to make sure every girl who's collected money for gluten-free cookies has enough. We have ordered, so in 2023, we ran out pretty early at the time of the initial order for these caramel chocolate chips. So we have ordered 50% more than that at this time for 2025. So we do think we'll have enough to fill the girl initial orders, and we think there will be some to have at booths and for later cookie walkabouts, we call them. So please don't panic. But if people do want or need a gluten-free cookie when she's placing orders, that is okay. You just need to write them in. All right, next slide, please. All right, so then the next phase is continuing to sell cookies and take orders before the cookies get here. So girls will continue taking their order form door to door or wherever, and they'll be using that card. But we recommend that they make a really big line, maybe with a highlighter or a giant black Sharpie, underneath the orders that they submitted to their Troop Cookie Manager on or around January 27th, just so that we're sure that we're not, that she knows like kind of where to keep track of who has ordered and then what additional cookies she'll need to fill the new orders that she's taking. Girls should not take additional orders for the caramel chocolate chip during this period, because we won't know by this point, how many cookies the troops are going to order for the initial order. So they should not be ordering the caramel chocolate chip. Then during this time, digital cookie will remain open for the shipped orders and for girl delivery. And the caramel chocolate chip will be available for the shipped cookies. So that will remain open for the entirety of our sale, we think. So girls can continue to sell them, but only on their website and only for shipping at this time. All the social media stuff and buy, sell, trade stuff all still apply. And girls continue to bring money to the troop meetings to turn in and receive a receipt. Next slide, please. So the next time frame we have here is the week of February 14th through 20th. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. This is when the cookies are here. So the cookies will be at our transportation partner, and they will be sorted out by service unit, delivered to service units between the 14th and 20th, many of them on the 14th itself. But anyway, these cookies will go to the service units who will have the troops pick them up, and then the troops will have the girls pick them up. So do work with your troop cookie manager to schedule your time. She will know when that is as the time gets closer. And then we just want to make sure you bring a large enough vehicle and person power, muscle power to collect your cookies at the appointed time. And then there's a really good strategy for counting your cookies, and that is to separate them by variety. So here during your initial order, you'll most likely have 9 different varieties of cookies. So you'll want to make sure that you separate all 9 varieties and then count each variety. If your count and the service unit cookie manager's count or the troop manager's count don't match, please count again until they do. Then sign the receipt and then start loading the entire order into your vehicle. When it's freezing cold or, in my Florida case, boiling hot, you don't want to be loading and unloading cookies because you couldn't get the right count. So wait until they're all counted and agreed upon and signed off, and then put them in the car or truck. Girls should be delivering cookies that were ordered to their customers ASAP. So that's one important thing to make sure your girls are aware of when they go out and they are taking orders for cookies, January 10th. They need to let their customers know that they won't have the cookies in hand until sometime the week of February 14th. And so mid to late February is when those cookies will be delivered. So one thing that happens is customers who order January 10th or 15th or whatever start calling our office on February 1st. I ordered cookies 2 weeks ago and I don't have them yet. So if you just make sure the girl is setting those expectations when she's with their customers, that is something that's very important. I am ready for the next slide, and also just recognizing that I have 8:20 on my calendar here. So I am a pretty quick talker, so I'm going to do my very best to get us out on time. I'm realizing that we may run over. So if there are questions that we aren't able to get to while you're still available this evening for the Q&A, please don't hesitate to reach out to customer care with your question. Their email address is customercare@girlscouts-ssc.org, or you can go to our Silver Sage website and go to the Contact Us button and type out your question. You're also able to call our council phone number and leave a voicemail because there's no one else here in the building but me tonight, I don't think, at 8:30-ish. But please do make sure we receive your question so that we can respond. That would be very important to us. All right, so the next phase, cookies are here. And so between February 14th or whenever each girl gets her cookies through the end of the sale, which is March 16th, girls can go on walkabouts. This is going door to door, but instead of going door to door with an order card, she is going door to door with cookies. So it could be a wagon or a cart. You'll see here the girl in the picture has a cookie cart, which is something that is available for sale at our store. There are also lots of different kinds of wagons. When I was growing up, my sister and I dressed up my little sister like a brownie, and we went door to door with a baby buggy, and we just could not be resisted. So there are lots of different ways to go about doing this, but for safety purposes, we want to make absolutely sure that a parent is with them. For daisies, brownies, and juniors, the parent should be going up, essentially up to the doorstep with the girl. And then for cadets, seniors, and ambassadors should be supervised by the adult, so the adult can stay by the sidewalk but making sure that she's keeping an eye on the girl. And then the digital cookie store will remain open for shipping and for girl delivery. And also, girls, when they go door to door, can take payments in cash or check, or also with credit cards or PayPal or Venmo through digital cookie when they are going door to door on the walkabouts. Next slide, please. So cookie booths are something that happens while we have cookies in hand. Cookie booth season is for 4 weekends, so a total of 3 weeks and an extra weekend tacked on. That's February 21st through March 16th. Council secures many locations, but troops can also reserve their own locations too. So that should be something that you have your troop cookie manager submit it on Smart Cookies so that the council can make sure that it gets on the online cookie finder, and also that you can take then the credit cards and Venmo and PayPal at the cookie booth. They need to be in Smart Cookies in order to do that. And then there are people required to operate a booth. A troop booth absolutely must have at least 2 girls and 2 approved and non-related Girl Scout volunteers. And we recommend not having more than 4 girls because they tend to play and get silly when there's too many of them. And also, you have to divide the cookies sold by so many girls that it's almost not worth it at certain points. And then there is also something called a Mom and Me booth, where there is 1 Girl Scout or siblings of said Girl Scout, and then their caregiver or other caregiver approved adult. So that would be someone that you trust with your kid, your cookies, and your money. And then that could be someone at a Mom and Me booth. It does not necessarily have to be a registered volunteer. Next slide, please.
Okay. I just want to clarify when it says Girl Scout siblings, it is siblings who are all Girl Scouts, not your Girl Scouts and their little brothers. So little siblings and tag-alongs need to stay home during a cookie booth. But if you've got multiple girls who are all Girl Scouts, they can be with that 1 adult that is approved for the Mom and Me.
Great, thanks, Kim. All right, so we have a few tips for cookie booths. I'll touch on the main ones, but Girl Scouts should go and approach every single customer on their way out of the store. The number one reason that people don't buy cookies from a cookie booth or don't buy cookies in general, is because no one asked them. Also at cookie booths, you never know who might be there. Travis Kelce might jump up. He likes peanut butter patties. You might meet the mayor. Our CEO of our council has been to cookie booths. So please do be at cookie booths and avoid eating, chewing gum, playing around, all that sort of thing. You could print business cards from Digital Cookie to hand out so people can reorder from you. And we also recommend talking about or displaying your goal. So we had one really successful booth with a girl who had a picture of the Eiffel Tower, like a big, I think she just drew it or something. And she was very, very successful. And she did make it to Paris. We're really excited for her. So do tell people about your goals. I have another example on another slide that I will point out. And then make sure you are counting money and cookies when you arrive and when you leave. And the difference is what you sold. And then continued partnership with our businesses who are our cookie booth partners. Those partnerships are critical to our Girl Scouts and to our cookie program. So please do act like Girl Scouts, people who are responsible and have gratitude for the business that gave us that spot, because it is something that we just wouldn't be nearly as successful without. Next slide, please. All right, so the sale concludes phase 5. That starts on March 17th, because the last day is the 16th. However, girls, if they miss their goal, say girl X wants to go to Paris and she needs 1,500 boxes and she's at 1,400 boxes on March 16th, she can continue selling. What that means is, as long as your family is committed to getting those cookies sold, your troop cookie manager, you need to let her know ASAP so she can order that extra 100 packages of cookies so that they can get to your girl so she can sell them. And this order must be placed and picked up by the cupboard by March 25th. That's when we start closing out the books on everything, adding up people's program credits that they are earned and all that sort of stuff. So if she wants to keep selling, she can continue all the way through the summer if she wants to, but she's got to get those cookies by March 25th. Next slide, please. The last piece, is just some reminders of cookie finances. Most, if not all of this, is in your family guide. But make sure you get a receipt. Make sure the girls collect money up front when they're out there selling cookies. You may need change for either taking orders or for being at a booth. So make sure you have 5s and 1s. Both are important. You can also make payments at the Silver Sage store. So if you aren't able to personally get to the cookie meeting to give the Troop Cookie Manager money, you can pay at the store. You just want to make sure that we have your girl's name and troop number at the time you make the payment. I've mentioned before that counting is important, and here's why. If your troop is at the top tier of troop proceeds, and there are different amounts of money based on how the per girl average of the troop sales, if you're at the top level of that and your troop loses 1 package at a cookie booth, your troop needs to sell 7 more packages of cookies to recoup the money from 1 lost package. So imagine if you lose track of a case of cookies. That's 12 times 7. That's $84. Or I'm sorry, 84 packages that your girls have to sell to make up the profits from those other, the case that was misplaced. Every single penny that's earned in this program and every penny that's brought in belongs to the Girl Scouts in our council. That is one hard line that we draw. Theft of any kind will not be tolerated, and authorities will be and have been, honestly, contacted. So again, this money belongs to the girls. We've all taken the Girl Scout promise and law and accepted it when we became members, and theft is just not allowed. We also want you to speak up. Please don't let any problems fester. If you have a need or a question, please let your troop cookie manager or our customer care department know immediately. We can only help when we know what the issue is, and we have lots more options, lots of ways that we can help you if we know with more time. As the clock ticks, as days go by, we have fewer and fewer options of ways to help you. So again, please speak up earlier rather than later if you have any questions or any issues at all. Don't worry about being the first one who ever had problem X or problem Y. Promise you it's been a problem before. So please do reach out if you need us. All right, next slide, please. So phase 6 is really easy. That's just a distribution of the rewards. The program credits will come out in May. Those will be distributed as soon as we possibly can to the service unit and then the troop, because we want the girls to get that money in hand so that they can pay for the Disney trip, so they can pay for camp, all of their adventures. Those program credits are coming out first. Then other rewards will come out in June. Some come from the baker, some come from the council, and then there are also some very large items like the telescope, maybe like a canoe or something big. Those may go directly to the home of the Girl Scout. Next slide, please. Okay, so one really great program that we have that started in the middle of last cookie season and will continue for this cookie season is Operation Cookie. I can feel myself smiling because I'm really excited about it. My dad was a veteran. Kim is married to a veteran. We all have other veterans in our family tree. And so this is really something that's dear to our hearts. And we've seen so much impact just in the last half of the cookie program. So when customers say keep the change, or if they buy specifically to donate cookies, what happens is the girl gets credit for cookies sold, and the cookies then are purchased and given to organizations in our area that serve either veterans or current serving military members. We have a contact with Blue Star Mothers who even pays for the cookies to get transported to troops out that are deployed. So we have lots and lots of partner organizations that tell their supporters to go buy cookies and donate them to Operation Cookie. And girls who participate at a certain level, and that's on the rewards card, if they get 15 or more packages through the virtual cookie share, which is what Operation Cookie is called in Smart Cookies, they will get that special patch that is shown up here on this slide. We are not able to accept just cash donations at a booth or to solicit cash donations. So we can't have like a jar of cash that people are just putting money in. That is not permitted at cookie booths. That's part of our agreement with the vendors and the locations. So if someone says, keep the change, if they buy 3 boxes of cookies for $18, the $20 is not evenly divisible by 20, so they'll get $2 back. Keep the change, great. So thank you. Put that in your money box, and at the end of the day, when you've got 9 people said keep the change, that's 3 extra boxes of cookies, right? So 9 times 2 is 18, and 18 divided by 3 is 6. So that's 3 extra packages of cookies counted towards Operation Cookie, and that is how those are added in the system. Next slide, please. All right, so this is my favorite slide, and I think I will copy and paste it and send it out in a different way because we don't have time to go over it in depth. But a lot of folks ask us for tips on how to sell more cookies. And if you're interested in those, you're more than welcome to take a screenshot of this slide. Again, we may post it other places, but there are all kinds of places selling to staff in a business, selling to customers of a business, at your family's workplace, at your house of worship. A lot of girls bring it to their teacher, but they forget the principal, the custodian, the library lady. There's all kinds of staff members out of school that don't typically get asked. Also, if a girl has repeat customers, those are golden. They've bought in the past, they'll definitely want to do it again. If you're part of the Rotary or Key Club or any of those kinds of things. And again, the Mom and Me booths, cookie stands, walkabouts, all of those things are great. And then just make sure everybody knows that your girl is a Girl Scout. If you decide to put a magnet on the car, make sure she wears her Girl Scout hoodie, all those sorts of things. There's no easier customer to get than a customer that comes up to you. That's the easiest way to go about it. All right, next slide, please. So you may be asking yourself at this point, why should your Girl Scout participate? And here's the cute picture of the girl with her blonde hair and black sign that says, Evie's goal is to attend Camp Echo Art Extravaganza. So her goal was to earn enough program credits to attend Camp Echo for free, and she was able to do it this year. So Evie got to go to Art Extravaganza Camp, and I know she's excited about going to camp again next year. But your girl should participate. Yes, there are fun things to do, and yes, she will have fun doing the cookie program, but ultimately it is those outcomes. It's the learning and practicing the skills that will last her a lifetime. I am who I am because of the cookie program. And so again, our millions of other women entrepreneurs, dozens of CEOs, including 8 current Fortune 500 CEOs. So please do try the cookie program, even if you're on the fence. Check out a case or 2, or have your girl go to your workplace and ask people that are close to her and or you, so it feels safe those first few asks. But once she gets a yes or 2, I promise she'll be off to the races. She will be so excited that people want to buy cookies, and then she'll start maybe even increasing her goal and that sort of thing. She's going to be off and running. So please do have your girl give it a try. Next slide, please. Okay, so when your girl gives it a try, we have lots and lots of resources for you. So our website has a section that is currently up to date. So it has all the information that you'll need for this year's cookie program, all the tools, guides, materials. It's called Cookie Central, and it's on our main Girl Scouts webpage. And if you click on cookies on the top bar, this is where you'll go, Cookie Central. You also have, of course, the printed family guide, the cookie program family guide that's available to you from your Troop Cookie Manager. And then we also encourage you to seek inspiration, but not answers, but inspiration on sites like Pinterest or by searching on Google. But the answers, we want you to get those from us or from someone local, because cookie program operations, the rewards, the dates, even the names of the cookies differ from different councils. And so it would not be a great idea to take recommendations from things that you Google. Next slide, please. We also have lots of support for you. And again, if you have a question, a suggestion, if you need some kind of resource, our motto here is just ask. We don't know that you need it until you let us know that you need it. So please do ask. We may have already gotten one out and you just haven't seen it. We may be able to source it from another council. So please do ask. Also, your support system includes your Troop Cookie Manager. Please do record their information on the back part of your family guide and also load it into your phone so you can contact them when you're out at a cookie booth. We also have our customer care, which is headed up by Susan Carty. She is amazing. We love her. She will typically answer the phone or your email when your questions come in. This is also the best way to reach the Kims, as we are collectively known. We answer questions through the customer care system. And that's great when, my husband had a heart event maybe 5 weeks ago. And so I was in the hospital, but I was able to reach the customer care emails, even though I wasn't able to reach my Outlook emails. And other individuals at Girl Scouts, including Susan and Kim, were able to answer those questions as well. So if you had only emailed me, it sat there. But if you emailed customer care, your answer was researched and gotten to you. We also have digital cookie support. So that is on the help section on digital cookies, either app or website. Then we also have a live-ish news feed where we'll be sharing timely updates, some instructional screenshots and things like that. It's a 2025 cookie updates and FAQ page, and you can reach that here on this QR code. There are also links to it lots of other places, including in Cookie Central. So that's going to be another hub of news as things develop. Next slide, please. All right, so before we end this video and start to take questions and answers, I want to make sure that you know that we thank you deeply. Everyone in our council understands that volunteering for Girl Scouts or supporting your girl in Girl Scouts is work and is something that helps support all of the girls, either all the girls in her troop or service unit or council. And we appreciate all of the attention and all of the work that you do to make those things happen. So thank you very much, not only for being with us tonight, but also again for your time, for your attention and your treasure when helping us with the Girl Scout Cookie Program. And I am going to go ahead and end our recording, and then we can start then with the questions and answers. And I'm going to find the stop recording button because there are so many buttons.